Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for checking out the video. I just figured I'd do a quick walk around of my new X3. I just picked this up a couple days ago. I put all my accessories on it. I have some new stuff, some things I carried over from my other X3. You guys actually follow the channel, you'll know that I had a couple of these. This is my third X3. The first one was a 21 Turbo R with a DS. Then I had a 22 XRS with the Smart Shocks, which was pretty sweet. But I'm back to the DS model. This is the XDS Turbo RR. So it's got the same engine setup as the XRS that I had, but it's just more narrow. This is a 64-inch wide version, and it doesn't have the Smart Shocks. I'll miss the Smart Shocks for sure. I did kind of have an issue with the Smart Shocks in the last one. When I first got it, they had to be recalibrated a couple times, but after that they were great. Just push a button and you could change the shock settings. This one you actually have to adjust the clickers. These are the RC2s, I think. They're like the step up from the QS3s with the 1, 2, 3 clickers. You can actually adjust the high compression, low compression, and the rebound on the bottom. I have them set right in the middle for now. But so the XDS is basically the top of the line X3 you can get in the 64-inch wide version. This one came with 30-inch carnivores, and I took those off right there. So I took those off and put these on. These are 32-inch terabytes, Tusk terabytes. I got these as a wheel and tire package on Rocky Mount ATV, and I had them on my XRS, and they only have a couple miles from where I was doing some pulls with my draggy, trying to figure out my 0 to 60s and different things after I got a tune on the last one. So, but these haven't even really hit a trail yet. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with everything that comes on these X3s. This is the 200 horsepower Turbo RR. Late 21, 2022, and then obviously this 2023 has the P-Drive primary clutch, which I explained in my 22 XRS video. It just basically means the power comes on a little bit different. There's rollers in the primary rather than sliders, and I've actually had that apart when I put a clutch kit in it. It's a pretty cool setup, very similar to some old snowmobiles. I think they're Sea-Doos, or I can't remember which snowmobiles had the P-Drive. Very, very similar if you look at them side by side. This one's a little beefier looking, but it's basically the same setup design. So not much change from 22 to 23. You know, if you really want more specifics or specifications, you can go back and look at my 22 video. I talk more about different things on there. I just kind of figured I'd show you what I've put on this one so far and why I went from an XRS to this. So far I put on a synthetic rope where I had the cable on the last one. I got this grill light. I saw somebody, I think it was Side by Side blog. Can't think of the guy's name. He has the white, I think they call it the base mode or base model X3 on their channel, and he had that on his and it looked pretty sweet in one of the videos, so I went and picked that up. I did put on some Kemimoto front fender flares. I have the backs, but I didn't put them on. I don't like the way they look in the back. I just want to protect the windshield a little bit, and I might end up having to put the mud busters on as well if these don't do much. We'll see. That's a Kemimoto windshield, plastic, so it's probably not going to last long. Probably the first time I wipe some muddy water across it, that'll be the end of it. But it was free. They sent that out to me to do a video, so I figure I'll go ahead and run it until I can't see through it, then I'll put my EMP back on. Solid Industries mirrors. I decided to go with a different mirror this time. The Can-Am mirrors are pretty sweet looking on the machine, but they're kind of garbage when you look through them. When you're trying to look at something when you're backing up, they're so small you can't even see anything. Obviously got some rigid pod lights. These have a blue background to them too, like an amber light you can turn on as well, or a spotlight. That was because my last machine was blue. So I'm not sure if I'll even turn those on. Like I said, I got the 32-inch tires and rims. Lower doors are off my other one. Those were Kenimoto's. I'll put a link down in the video description of all these parts too. If you guys are interested in buying any of this stuff, it'll be down there. Oh, I got a little draggy in there. That's a switch for my electric cutout. I got an E-valve mid-pipe that I got from Depot Racing, which is almost half the price of the Evolution Power Sports E-valve cutout. It's the same exact thing. So you guys can check that out if you're interested in that. I got a shifter knob. I can't remember who made that, but I got a shifter knob on there. And you got to be careful when you put it in park, because you'll pinch your finger. So I have to kind of just push with the palm of my hand. Aux beam switch panel, so that way I'm not having to run wires all the way up to the blanks in the front for the rocker switches. I can just run it to behind the seat. I can't remember if I made a video for that. I don't think I did, but right back there, I'm not sure if you can see that. So every time I add an accessory, you just have to run it to this point right here, instead of taking the seat out and going in between the seats to the auxiliary bar, or whatever you want to call it, the power bar. I just have to go to that now. I got some no-amp speakers. They sent those out to me for free to make a video, and I'm not just saying this because they sent them to me for free and I want to promote them. They sound freaking amazing. Completely blown away. Completely different than the sound bar that I had. I think I had an MTX. What did I have? I can't remember what kind of sound bar. I gave it to my brother. But these things are extremely loud. There's the controller for that. Got a Can-Am backup camera there. That works okay. I'll be honest, it's kind of grainy, but it's better than nothing. When I have these big boxes in the back, it's kind of hard to see with a normal mirror, so I threw that on there. Kenimoto upper storage bag, Kenimoto light. This is actually pretty cool. You can have a little spotlight there, or you can have the big bright light. Those are real cheap too. I did buy a Can-Am back windscreen because, so I had the black one there, the tinted one, but with these speakers you can't run it because the speakers sit right where it would go. So it's kind of a Mickey Mouse setup here in the back, but it'll keep my wife from complaining too much if it starts raining. I actually cut all the straps off of this Can-Am back windscreen, and I put zip ties on because I don't know who engineered those straps. They're completely garbage. They're awful. So I just did that. I'll just snip them every time I want to take it off. Obviously got a chase light here, and it looks crooked for some reason now that I'm looking at it. That's weird. Huh. There. Not sure how that happened. I got this AJK mount for the Milwaukee Packouts. These things are sweet. They're watertight. This is a cooler. Somebody asked me the other day how many cans you can put in there. You can put 22 cans in that. A little bottle opener on it. And you can just stack as many boxes on this as you want. So if we go on a longer trip, I put this other box on. It has some other spare parts and stuff inside of it. Kenimoto storage bag in the middle there. And that might be it. Oh, I got that tablet holder as well. Yeah, I think that's it. Now it's starting to snow and rain. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. This thing absolutely rips. It's a few hundred pounds less than the XRS that I had with the same amount of horsepower. So I mean, it's a rocket. It really is. But I don't know. That's pretty much it. I just want to do a quick walk around, keep you guys up to date what I'm driving. If you're following the channel, if not, you know, I like all the channels. I really would appreciate it if you did subscribe. If you don't mind, helps smaller channels like mine to grow a little bit. Helps with the algorithm, you know, all that stuff. So really appreciate that if you guys did that. And I got some riding videos coming up, and we'll get this thing out and get it dirty and see what you can do. But yeah, I appreciate you watching, and we'll check you in the next video. Thanks, guys.